أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين. الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له. ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له. ونشهد أن سيدنا حبيبنا محمدا عبده ورسوله أرسله بالحق بشيرا ونذيرا وداعيا إلى الله بإذنه وسراجا منيرا. أما بعد. My brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. If somebody was to ask you, what is the most important principle or the purpose of Allah's deen, Islam? What is the most important purpose of Islam on this earth? What would you say? The answer to this question is simple. It is to create justice on this earth. It is to create justice on this earth. Justice between people. Justice between people and the environment. Justice between us, human beings, Allah's creation, and Allah, the creator of the universe. Justice at home, between families, parents, children, neighbors. Justice at all levels. If we were to compromise on justice, we would be compromising on Islam. There is no Islam without justice. Wherever there is justice, there is Allah's blessings. And wherever there is no justice, Allah's blessings withdraw. When justice disappears from this earth, we should begin to count for the end of time. My brothers and sisters, the reason why I chose this topic today is because of what's happening around the world right now. And I will be talking about what happened in Saudi Arabia with Jamal Khashoggi in particular. On the 2nd of October, Jamal Khashoggi, who was a journalist, but before, and for a long time, he was an advisor to the Saudi government. He had left Saudi Arabia and taken political asylum as well as a new job in America. He was a reporter, columnist in the Washington Post newspaper. And he used to write about Saudi Arabia regularly, calling for reform, calling for change, calling for overhaul. The Saudi government did not like what he was doing. So what did they do? They decided to persuade him to come back to Saudi Arabia, but he did not agree to their terms and conditions or their invitation. He's been living abroad in America for a while, but he's been traveling between America and Turkey on a regular basis. In Turkey, he was about to get married to somebody. But for his marriage to be valid, he needed divorce paper from Saudi embassy from his previous marriage, which had come to an end. So he agreed with the Saudi embassy that he would get their paper and he would pick it up from the embassy. So the Arabian embassy in Turkey knew this very well. So on a particular day, on the 2nd of October, when he traveled to the consulate in Istanbul, he came with his wife-to-be, and he left his phone with her saying, I'm going to go in. If I don't come back, please call the following people. In his heart, he knew something very bad would happen to him. But he valued his life and his wife-to-be so much that he was prepared to risk and go in. He went inside. When he arrived, he was met with Saudi officials that had been dispatched from Saudi Arabia on private planes the night before, just so that they could deal with him directly. And you know the rest of the story ever since, because the media has not stopped talking about it. He was attacked. Initially, they were trying to persuade him to come back to Saudi Arabia, and he said, no, was beaten up, tortured. He was given injections and his body was cut into pieces. My brothers and sisters, this tragedy indicates something that I began when I started my speech today. It indicates the lack of justice in the Muslim world right now. It indicates how Muslims have forgotten the concept of justice from their everyday living. Allah says in the Quran, "I'dilu," be just. "Huwa aqrabu lit-taqwa," for that is the closest you can ever be to Allah consciousness. If you can't be just, you cannot be Allah conscious. You can pray all you like. You can grow all your beards all you like. You can wear all the jalabiyas, biggest gown on the earth you like. You can look the part, but if you're not just, you are not the part. You are just fake. You can look the part, but if you have no justice, then you're fake. That's what Allah is saying in the Quran. "I'dilu huwa aqrabu lit-taqwa." Be just, for that is the closest you can ever be to justice. My brothers, I want you to mark my words. Beloved Prophet of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam sat in his mimbar, in his pulpit, and he dispensed justice to every corner of Arabia that he was ruling at his time. Never compromising on justice. Never compromising on justice. Today, in Muslim countries, Muslim majority countries, you don't find justice. You cannot show me one Muslim country in the world today where you will feel comfortable that you will get justice done for yourself or your family if you're in trouble. People are fleeing most Muslim countries and coming to Britain, going to America, taking asylum in Europe and Australia, looking for justice. We were the pioneers of justice when Europe was living in the depth of darkness. When the world was barbarians, we showed the world what justice was supposed to be. But we have forgotten the concept of justice in its entirety. And what Saudi Arabia did to Jamal Khashoggi is an indication of a clear violation of justice. Clear violation of justice. My brothers and my sisters, I want you to mark my words again and again. On the day of judgment, Allah will ask you, what is the problem, my son? Please listen to the speech. If you don't like it, just bear with us for a few seconds. We're talking about justice. We're talking about Muslim world. We're talking about everything that matters to you and me and my children. You and our future in this world. It matters that millions of people have been killed in Yemen by this regime in Saudi Arabia while you turn a blind eye as if nothing is happening. It matters they occupy Hajj and Umrah space, the holiest site of Islam in Mecca and Medina. It matters to you and I. Khadim al-Haramain al-Sharifain is a title that belongs to people who are worthy and deserving. And people who murder, and people who disappear their citizens, and people who kill, and people who deprive their own people of justice don't deserve to be given this title of Khadim al-Haramain al-Sharifain. It is a disgrace, it is a desecration of our holy sites, and I shall speak about it. And you must know about it, because Muslims remaining silent is not going to solve the problem. My brothers and sisters, I am talking about justice. For Allah says in the Quran, "I'dilu huwa aqrabu lit-taqwa." Be just, for that is the closest you can ever be to Allah consciousness. Your prayers are very important. Allah doesn't say, "Sallu huwa aqrabu lit-taqwa." He doesn't say that. He doesn't say pray, that's the closest you can be to Allah. In the Quran, there's only one way He has described Allah consciousness. In the closest, most intimate manner you can think of. And He used justice as the prerequisite for it. Islamic justice is dispensed in 7 ways, my brothers and sisters. 7 ways Islamic justice is dispensed. And you must dispense the same justice in your houses, in your homes, in your neighborhood, in your society, in the same way. Number 1, it offers protection to life. It offers protection to life. Every life is sacred. Allah has given the life. You have no right to take any life away. He says in the Quran, "Man qatala nafsin bighayri nafsin aw fasadin fil ard, فكأنما قتل الناس جميعا, ومن أحياها فكأنما أحيا الناس جميعا." Whoever takes one life, whoever takes one innocent life, it is as though they have taken the lives of the entire humanity. And whoever saves one life, it is as though they have saved the lives of the entire humanity. My brothers and sisters, life is sacred. Tell me which Muslim country in the world today gives you the guarantee of life. My parents come from Bangladesh. I can tell you everything about Bangladesh. A lot of my friends and my relatives come from Pakistan. I can tell you a lot about Pakistan. Many of my friends come from Afghanistan. I can tell you a lot about Afghanistan. Many of you come from Somalia, Sudan. Many of you come from North Africa. Many of you come from the Middle East. And all over the world. Give me one country where you will find protection to your life. Guaranteed, as guaranteed by Allah in the Quran, and as exemplified by the beloved Prophet of Allah, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Umar ibn Khattab radiallahu anhu one day regretted, lamented, and cried. He said, if one person dies under my watch, I will be responsible on the Day of Judgment. And then he said, not only a person, if an innocent rat dies on the bank of river Euphrates, I will be asked on the Day of Judgment by Allah, "Oh Umar, why did that rat die innocent death, or innocent rat's life was taken? Why?" We don't care anymore, my brothers and sisters. People are getting killed left, right and center in the Muslim world. We don't give a monkeys about it. We are very happy, alhamdulillah. I'm comfortable in my 3-bedroom house. I've got my garage, I've got my car, I've got my money, food, mashallah. I'm getting my roti and my rice and my curry and my halwa and everything else. I'm okay. I don't give a monkeys about what's happening to the world. You shall give monkeys about it. On the Day of Judgment, Allah will ask you, what did you do to protect life? What did you do? When lives were being taken in different parts of the world, what did you do? What did you say? Imam Sahib, don't talk about politics in masjid. Were you trying to prevent your Imam from addressing the topic of the day? Lives matter! Prophet of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam would not allow a single life to be passed away while he was the leader of the Muslim Ummah. None of the Khalifas of the Khalifatul Rashida, the ones who were rightly guided Khalifs, would allow any of this to ever take place under their watch. And yet today, we are more than 1.8 billion Muslims in the world. The Chinese government could banish Muslims in their millions in a concentration camp. There isn't a single Muslim to rise and say, "Hey, what are you doing?" No, because we become too selfish. We become too self-centered. It's my life that matters. I don't care about other people's lives. You shall care about other people's lives. On the Day of Judgment, Allah will ask you. So Islamic justice is dispensed by protection of life. Everyone's life is sacred. Whether it is ISIS killing people in Syria, whether it is Al-Shabaab killing people in Somalia, whether it is Boko Haram killing people in Nigeria, whether it is anyone else murdering and causing mayhem in any parts of the world, they are taking lives, and you shall stand against them and tell them, no, you cannot take lives, for taking lives is like taking the lives of the entire humanity. You'll be surprised to know that against my own name, I've got 2 death threats right now. Death threats, 2. One was given by the pirates of Somalia, the Al-Shabaab, they're pirates. They said I should be dead. So they put my name up and they told their foot soldiers that my life has become halal. They did that about 7 years ago. 3 years ago, ISIS put my name and my details on their website, wanting me dead. You know what, brothers and sisters? My death is not decided by you, or ISIS, or Al-Shabaab, or anybody on this earth. My death is decided by Allah in the heavens. When He decides I shall die, you cannot stop it from happening. When if Allah has decided that I shall live, you cannot shorten my life. should I live with fear of my life? Why? And guess what? I live in the fear of my life from Muslims, not non-Muslims. Islam serves justice and protection of life. Jamal Khashoggi's life was taken by the Saudis. What crime did he commit? You can disagree with him, yes. You can dislike him, yes. He could be your enemy. But does that give you the right to take his life and then cut him into pieces? And then lie about it to the world. Lie and lie and lie. And you want to be called Khadim al-Haramain al-Sharifain. Shame. You know, I said to somebody the other day, if you have killed him, admit it. Give the body back to the family. Let the Muslim man have a janazah on the case. Let his family bury him. Let's make dua for him. Let's do janazah for him. What kind of a Muslim are you that you deny a Muslim janazah? Protection of life, my brothers, from birth until death. Even when you die, there is protection to your body. Prophet of Allah ﷺ said, you shall not mutilate a body. You shall not dismember a body. You shall not disrespect a dead body. Justice must be served. And the purpose of Islam is to offer justice to everybody, at every time, regardless of who they are. And the first thing it does, it protects life, guarantees your life. It's sad that Muslim countries don't guarantee life. It is sad that Islam has disappeared very fast from those countries. But I think you and I believe in Islam, and we believe in justice fully. The second thing it does, it guarantees your property. Your property. According to Islam, your guarantee of your property, in other words, your wealth, your house, your land, shall not be ever taken by somebody else. Cannot be taken by somebody else. Unless, of course, you sell it. Of course, you can sell it and you can buy new ones. But nobody has the right to confiscate it from you. Nobody has the right to take it from you. And yet, in Muslim countries, land is lost whimsically because the politicians don't like your land. They take it away from you. Because somebody who has got Prime Minister as his brother or his sister or brother-in-law or sister-in-law picks up the phone and says, that land is mine. Even if it's your forefather's land, you lose it just like that. Your houses are demolished. Islam has disappeared from the lives of those countries, from the country's rulers and their elite. There is no Islam there is no guarantee for your property. Islam provided the guarantee to property vast ever in the history of humanity. Any property that you have, legally, Islam must guarantee that it will be protected. Somebody who dies protecting his own property will die as shaheed, said Rasulullah. Why? Because it's a guarantee, it's a form of justice that Allah has given. Number three, Islam offers justice by protecting your intellect, your mind, your brain. You've heard of the concept called intellectual property, haven't you? When you create something, you can patent it, it can be your property intellectually, nobody has the right to steal it. Who guaranteed it first? Islam did. The world had never heard of intellectual property before. Sharia implemented intellectual property even at the time of Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam. You want justice to be seen and done? Look at what Islam tells us. I know some Muslims don't believe in some of these things, but we need to reinvent this, we need to talk about it all the time. Intellectual property is your right and it is a form of justice. Allah has given you. Nobody has the right to take it away. The other day somebody said to me, brother, what intellectual right are you talking about? This is the word of Allah, Quran. It should be free. Of course, the words of Allah is free. No problem. Words of Allah is free for you to memorize, for you to learn. But if somebody has written it, if somebody has typed it, if somebody has created an app, if somebody has published a book, they have spent money and energy from their own pockets. Unless they work for it, they make it for Allah's sake, fi sabilillah, they donate it to the Muslim community or for the use of the public. It is their intellectual property. You have no right to take it. You have no right to copy it. You have no right to download it. You have no right to distribute it. If you do, you're violating the cardinal principle of Islam, living unjust. You know, when you go on the YouTube and you download videos for free, unless it says it's free, you cannot distribute it and download it. You know, you copy CDs. I wrote a book about marriage. Somebody has published it in Pakistan without my permission, violated Islamic principles of intellectual property. You want justice? Islam offers you justice by protecting your intellectual property. What you create with your mind, it's yours. You can share it if you want. You can make money if you want. You can benefit the world if you want. It becomes sadaqah jariyah for you because you've left beneficial knowledge for the world. It's called intellectual property. Justice, my brothers and sisters, is paramount in Islam. That's why Allah says, "I'dilu, be just, wa aqrabu lit-taqwa." That is the closest you can ever be. So I've told you about, so far, 3 things that Islam guarantees. Your life, your property, your intellect. Number 4, Islam guarantees protection of your family. Your family, you have the right to a family life. You have the right to have a family where you can live with them peacefully. You have the right to have the company of your wife or your husband or your children or your grandparents or your parents or your extended families without being disturbed, without being spied upon, without being compromised, without being put in harm's way. You have the right to family, and your family must be protected, and Islam offers justice by protecting families. Marriage is your right. Choosing your partner for marriage is your right. Choosing the right partner is your right, and your children's right too. Brothers and sisters, marital life, a peaceful life, and a happy life is your right. Allah Azza wa Jalla has given that to you. He says, وَمِنْ آيَاتِهِ أَنْ خَلَقَ لَكُم مِّنْ أَنفُسِكُمْ أَزْوَاجًا لِتَسْكُنُوا إِلَيْهَا. You can live in a family environment with him or her in peace and tranquility. That is the purpose of marriage. That is the purpose of family. And the protection of family is given by Allah. And this is one of the ways Islam ensures justice is served for all people. I want you to remember this. By the time you leave today, you should remember the 7 principles by which Islam gives justice. Number 1, your life. Number 2, your property. Number 3, your intellect. And now number 4, your family. Your family, nobody has the right to take it away from you. I want to refer to what happened in Saudi Arabia again. Jamal Khashoggi's life was taken. Families destroyed. Not just this, in Yemen, bombings happen, lives destroyed. In Pakistan, when the American drones come and destroy villages in Afghanistan, or in Bangladesh where riots take place and people die because of the security services indiscriminately firing at people, lives lost, families destroyed. You have served injustice, and if you have served injustice on the Day of Judgment, you will not be successful. Your way is to hellfire. Be just. That is the closest you can be to Allah consciousness. Islam provides justice, my brothers and sisters, by guaranteeing you all these and more. Number 5, I said, is protection of the family. Access to and right to enjoy a family life peacefully. Number 6, your honor and dignity. Allah Azza wa Jalla has created you and I all with inherent honor. He says, وَلَقَدْ كَرَّمْنَا بَنِي آدَمَ. I've created the children of Adam with honor. The moment you're born with honor. Whether you are a good man or a bad man, good woman or a bad woman, whether you're religious or non-religious, whether you are a sinner or the best person, whether you're a prisoner or a free person, you still have honor. Allah Azza wa Jalla makes that clear in the Quran. وَلَقَدْ كَرَّمْنَا بَنِي آدَمَ. I've given honor to all children of Adam, all of them, regardless of their social status, regardless of their economic status or political status. Whoever you are born with honor. Let not anyone dishonor you. No one has the right to dishonor you. Part of being honored is that people should respect you for being a man, people should respect you for being a woman. Nobody should discriminate one another based on their gender. Or you're a woman, I'll discriminate you. Haram in Islam. Haram in Islam to discriminate your sisters or your brothers based on their gender. In the eyes of Allah, we're all equal. In the eyes of Allah, we're all equal and we're born with worthy, the same honor, same dignity, same respect. Allah has given you and I, for man and woman, and He has not discriminated between either. We may discriminate each other, but Allah Azza wa Jal does not discriminate us. Islam offers you justice by giving you honor as a birthright. Birthright. Allahu Akbar. And number 7, Allah has given you justice by giving you complete freedom. Complete freedom. Now you may say, what do you mean complete freedom? Let me explain this. Allah said in the Quran, وَهَدَيْنَاهُ السَّبِيلِ إِمَّا شَاكِرًا أَوْ إِمَّا كَفُورًا. I have shown you the right way. وَهَدَيْنَاهُ السَّبِيلِ. We've given you the path the right way. إِمَّا شَاكِرًا. You may accept it and be grateful. وَإِمَّا كَفُورًا. Or you will reject it if you like. Allah has given you and I the right to reject Allah with consequences, of course. If you reject Allah, there is a consequence. If you accept Allah, there is consequence. Because you have the freedom and the free will to choose, you are born with the right to be free. Nobody shall subjugate you. Nobody shall imprison you. Nobody shall take away your freedom. Nobody. Sayyidina Umar ibn Khattab radiallahu anhu's time, there was a very famous story, and I'll narrate this to you again. A Coptic Christian man came to complain to Sayyidina Umar ibn Khattab that he has been treated very badly by the governor of Egypt. His name is Amr ibn As. What was the problem? Umar ibn Khattab listened to the story, and immediately he wrote on a piece of paper a letter saying to Amr ibn As, come over very quickly and bring your son with you. Amr ibn As came with his son. And Sayyidina Umar, the second Caliph of Islam, said to Amr, did you know this story? What's the story? He said to the Coptic man, come, tell Amr ibn As what happened. So this Coptic man said, I live in a village. I'm a peasant. I was coming through with my donkey, and this boy, Amr ibn As' son, saw my donkey, and he got jealous. He took my donkey by force, because my donkey is better than his. When I complained, he picked up a whip and started beating me, and said, how dare you complain against me? How dare you protest? I am the son of the nobleman, referring to his father. His father is the governor of Egypt. It's like, I'm the prime minister, I'm the prime minister's son. How dare you complain? You've heard this before, right? Sayyidina Ibn Khattab said to this boy, is this true? The boy said, yes. I'm going to know it is true. I get it. Umar ibn Khattab gave him a whip, saying, here, take it, and beat the boy until you're happy. So the boy was beaten for a few minutes, and he stopped. Umar ibn Khattab put his head forward and said, now I want you to beat my head, my bald head, please. The man said, why? Why would I do that, Ya Amir al-Mu'mineen? He said, because under my watch, your freedom was taken. So I'm responsible for you. Please, hit me now so that on the day of judgment, Allah doesn't ask me, why did I allow such brutality to take place under my watch? The man said, Ya Amir al-Mu'mineen, I don't need to beat you. I'm very happy with what you've given me. Thank you very much. I don't need to do this. Then Umar ibn Khattab turned to Amr ibn As, the governor of Egypt, and he said the most powerful words that you should remember forever. He said, oh Amr, since when did you take the right to imprison people when Allah has given every human being freedom by the fact that they are born free from their mother? When did you take the right to imprison people when they're born free? You and I are all born free. Our mothers gave birth to us free. No one shall subjugate us. No one shall take away our freedom in any part of the world, whether you're a Saudi king or you're the Prime Minister of Pakistan, whether you are the British Prime Minister or the American Prime Minister or President, I don't care. I am free, born free, to live free, to worship Allah free, and I'll never be afraid of anybody except Allah. I am free. Allah has made me free. That's how Allah talks about justice in the Quran. You're born free. No one has the right to take it away from you. Brothers and sisters, I want to tell you, I am very sad. I'm very sad when I look at the Muslim world today. And when I look at Muslims, that we have forgotten the concept of justice. We're no longer just with one another. Our countries, the majority Muslim countries, are no longer just at all. Injustice is prevalent everywhere. In this country, even here, Muslims behave unjustly. So much freedom, there is rule of law, there is more Islam in the society here, in the infrastructure here, in the system here, than most Muslim countries in the world. You can pray freely. I can give this speech from this minbar without my head rolling on the ground. If I gave this speech in Saudi Arabia, where do you think I'll be? In fact, if I gave this speech freely in any other part of the world, in the Muslim world, I would not be sitting in the pulpit. We have knowledge that imams and shuyukhs have been arrested from the pulpit while they were giving khutbah in Saudi Arabia, in Egypt, in other parts of the world. I'll give you some bad news. I'll finish with the bad news. I've been an imam in a mosque in central London, Gould Street Mosque. For some of you who know this, it's a mosque that has been funded by Saudi Arabia from the beginning. I've been an imam there for 22 years. I have a duty there to lead Jum'ah once a month. And I do other activities. When I criticize the Saudi king for their behavior, for the locking up of 2,000 shuyukh in Saudi Arabia, for the killing of Jamal Khashoggi, guess what happened? I was fired 2 weeks ago. Alhamdulillah. It's a badge of honor. They called me up and they said, we don't need you anymore. Why? Well, did I criticize the king and you didn't like it? Well, you're not welcome here. That's what they said to me. In this country, in Britain, they behave like this. La ilaha illallah. What will happen to this ummah? What will happen to this ummah? My brothers and sisters, it's a badge of honor when you can stand up and speak against tyrant rulers and against injustices. Our justice is world envy. Our justice is the standard of the truth and just ways in the world, has been, and inshallah will be again. Unfortunately, we have forgotten justice from ourselves and the society around us. When did you hear about Muslims going to Muslim countries looking for justice nowadays? Have you ever heard somebody British going seeking asylum in Pakistan? Have you heard any Americans looking for asylum in Bangladesh? Have you ever heard anybody going to Saudi Arabia looking for asylum and getting full citizenship as a result of it? I've met Rohingya Muslims who have lived in Saudi Arabia for 30, 40 years. They were brought into Saudi Arabia 40 years ago. I've met Muslims who have lived there for hundreds of years. They're not allowed to be given citizenship. They're given a card by which they live, treated like a second-class citizen. I love the land of Allah. I love Mecca and Medina. I love Allah's blessed land. But what I detest is those people who have hijacked Islam and desecrated its sanctity. That's what I detest. And you know what I detest most? Is the silence of Muslims. Muslims around the world are too scared of saying anything. How many imams and shuyukhs have you heard coming out and complaining or criticizing and standing up and saying, enough is enough, stop right now? Brothers and sisters, it's not good enough. اعدلوا هو أقرب للتقوى. Be just, for that is the closest you can ever be to Allah consciousness. May Allah make us just people. May Allah accept all the good things that we do for Him. And may Allah remove from this world injustice and all the troubles that we see. وآخر الدعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر
ख़वातीन नाज़रीन इकराम, अस्सलाम वालेकुम। चौधरी अली साहब फास्ट फूड वाले, उनके अंकल बाबू मोहम्मद सदीक साहब मरहूम रज़ाए से वफ़ात पा गए हैं, उनके लिए भी दुआ करनी है। हमारे भाई अब्दुल सलाम साहब के वालिदैन मरहूमी के लिए और सब मुसलमान मरहूमीन के लिए और शुहदा के लिए दुआ करें कि अल्लाह ताला सबको जन्नतुल फिरदौस में जगह अता फरमाए। बीमारों में हमारे चेयरमैन जनाब हाजी मोहम्मद सदीक साहिब, हाजी नज़ीर हुसैन शाह साहिब, हमारे मौज़न हाजी अब्दुल अजीज़ साहिब, भाई शुएब साहब की वालदा और हमशीरा, और एक छोटी बच्ची है 4 साल की अजीज़ी अलीना नूर हसन जो कि कैंसर की मरीज़ हैं, उनके लिए भी और सब बीमारों के लिए दुआ करें कि अल्लाह ताला सबको शिफा अता फरमाए। इसके साथ एक ज़रूरी ऐलान ये है कि अगले जुमा से जुमा की नमाज इंशाअल्लाह 1:15 पे हुआ करेगी, 1:15 बजे। जुमा की नमाज अगले हफ्ते से 1:15 बजे हुआ करेगी। जज़ाकल्लाह।
Assalamu alaikum. Just got a couple of announcements, so please bear with me. Please remember in your du'as all of those who have passed away. Remember all of those who are ill or undergoing any treatment. And remember all of those who are suffering in any way, shape or form. We have a sister whose younger brother is due to have open heart surgery today. And she asked that we all pray that it be successful. We pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bestows upon him full shifa and alleviates our brother of any suffering. A reminder that the Pensioners Lunch Club will follow the prayer, so if you're a pensioner, go and have a free meal. This is a strange request. Some uncles who are over 50 have asked for football training on a weekly basis. So we're going to try and facilitate that. So if there's anybody over 50 who wants to play football, just put your names down at reception. I'm also trying to arrange for the Red Cross to come along, so we're going to try and do that once a week. From next week, Jummah Salah will be at 1:15. So from next week, Jummah Salah will be at 1:15. And tomorrow is a new sports service which we're introducing, mixed martial arts, from tomorrow at 1 o'clock. So if anybody is interested in mixed martial arts, please come along to the sports hall tomorrow at 1 o'clock. And lastly, on Sunday, our brothers and sisters from the Mauritian community have arranged a Mawlid event this Sunday at 3 o'clock. So please do come along to that and support our brothers and sisters from the Mauritian community in remembrance of the birth of the beloved messenger. Jazakumullah khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
The masjid depends on your donation, so please do donate generously as we go through the ayats. Inshallah.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. Ashhadu an la أشهد أن محمد رسول الله أشهد أن محمد رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له ونشهد أن سيدنا حبيبنا محمدا عبده ورسوله أرسله بالحق بشيرا ونذيرا وداعيا إلى الله بإذنه وسراجا منيرا أما بعد قال الله تبارك وتعالى أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون. My dear brothers and sisters, I'm reciting a very important verse that you hear Imams reciting in every khutbah towards the end of the khutbah itself. And I don't know whether you have ever thought of the meaning of this verse. The meaning of this verse is the topic of my discussion today. It's about justice. Allah says in the Quran, Inna Allah ya'muru bil 'adli wal ihsan. Allah orders you to be just. Allah is ordering you and me to be just. Wal ihsan, and be excellent. Wa ita'i dhil qurba, and look after people who are in need and who are poor from around you. In other words, be charitable and compassionate. وَيَنْهَى عَنِ الْفَحْشَاءِ, and He orders you to stay away from shamelessness. وَالْمُنْكَرِ, evil. وَالْبَغِي, transgression. 3 orders and 3 prohibitions. The primary purpose is to establish justice in our lives in every way possible. And I began my speech today by saying justice is the cornerstone of Islam in our society. Our beloved Prophet of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was getting ready for Battle of Badr. He got the companions ready, only 300 or so people are with him. One of the companions on the line wasn't on the line, he wasn't straight. Prophet of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam poked him and told him, get on line, lovingly. And the man jumped back and got on the line. And he complained, "O Prophet of Allah, I'm hurt. You've hurt me." Prophet ﷺ said, "I'm really sorry, I did not mean to hurt you." He lifted up he stood in front of him and said, "Poke me back. Because I poked you, poke me back." The companion said, "Ya Rasulullah, not good enough. You poked me on my stomach that is bare. I'm not wearing a shirt. You've got a shirt. I can't poke you on your shirt. It's not the same. Lift up your shirt." Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Prophet of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam lifted up his shirt. And the companion, instead of poking the Prophet, he fell on the floor and he kissed the stomach of the Prophet of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Why did you do this?" The companion said, "Ya Rasulullah, I'm going to a battlefield. I don't know whether I'll ever return. When he poked me, instantly my mind said, last chance to give the Prophet of Allah your last kiss. And I know, Prophet of Allah, I've taken advantage of that." My brothers and sisters, when we tell this story, you feel so happy that the Prophet of Allah was so loved by his companions. You feel tearful knowing, Allahu Akbar, what an example Prophet ﷺ was set. But we forget the true lesson. The true lesson is justice. The true lesson is justice. We shed tears in our emotions about everything else, but we don't really think about justice. When you come to this masjid, where did you park your car? If you are a true, just and fair Muslim who is obeying Allah's command, Inna Allah ya'muru bil 'adli wal ihsan. O people, Allah has ordered you to be just and excellent. You will not leave your car parked on double yellow line, even if it's for 2 minutes. You will not leave your car blocking someone else's drive. You will not leave your car parked in an illegal space, because that is injustice and that is not excellent at all. We don't think about justice. We eat and we drink and we throw rubbish out into the street. We don't think about other people. We have our garden, we have our parties, we have neighbors, we have got people coming to us who don't think about the fair rights of our neighbors. We've forgotten justice, my brothers and sisters. When you have forgotten justice, Allah withdraws His favor from you and me. Scholars have written, wherever there is justice, Allah's favor, Allah's rahmah descend on the people, whether they're Muslims or non-Muslims, it makes no difference. Allah's rahmah comes on people who are just. 20 years ago, one old man grabbed me in a mosque, an uncle I knew for a long time. He said, son, I want to tell you something. I said, what is it? He goes, how old am I? I said to him, about 70. He goes, no, I'm older than your father. I said, that makes you 90. He goes, yes. He says, do you know why Allah is blessing British people? I said, I don't know. Because, and he's a scholar, he said, whenever you look after the young, the elderly, the disabled, Allah's blessings come in your direction in abundance. He said, I am a 90-year-old man. I've not worked for the last 30 years. Who has been looking after me? The state, by giving me benefits. If I went to Bangladesh, I'd be begging on the street. He's Bangladeshi. Nobody would look after me unless I had children, and I have none. My brothers and sisters, we have forgotten justice. Umar ibn Khattab radiallahu anhu introduced the concept of benefit to the disabled and the poor until they got strength and abilities to work. We've forgotten justice from our society. What we see around is selfishness and greed, nothing else. Whenever we become rich, it's all about me. Whenever somebody becomes an MP in a Muslim country, it's about becoming multimillionaires. Whenever they take away a country and become the kings, it's all about their own wealth, nothing else. Where is justice in this ummah? Where is justice in our society, in our families, in our neighborhood? Where is justice? Do you know the justice of your prayer? When you come to the masjid, you know the justice of prayer is that you'll come clean with fresh clothes. You'll come after having brushed your teeth. You'll come with clean socks. Do you know why? Because the person next to you should not be disturbed by your body odor, your breath, or your stinky socks. Wallahi, this is the sunnah of Rasulullah. He said, I would have made you brush your teeth 5 times a day, every time you come to pray. Why? Because he did not want your breath to disturb the person next to you. And yet I see Muslims walking to the masjid, smoking all the way, outside, letting the cigarette out. Your body is reeking of cigarette. Don't you think the person who's standing next to you who wants to pray will not be smelling the cigarette? The children who are next to you will not be inhaling the particles that's left over from your smoke, will not be affected as negatively as your own health. You've become too selfish. We've become too selfish. Justice is a greater cause. And that's why Allah makes an order in the Quran. Inna Allah ya'muru bil 'adl. Allah orders you. In fact, He says, Inna Allah, surely Allah, ya'muru, He orders you bil 'adl, with justice. Allahu Akbar. He orders you and I do justice. I was saying earlier on, our justice is served by protection of life, by protection of our property, by protection of our intellect, by protection of our family, by protection of our religion, by protection of our dignity and honor, and by protection of our freedom. 7 ways Islam ensures justice is served for everybody in every part of society, in every country, in every place on this earth. Regardless of your social status, your economic status, or religious status, you are to enjoy justice on this earth. So children, I know you have come on this day of holiday. I want you to know our religion Islam, your religion Islam, offers you justice at all costs, at all times. And you should be proud about our concept of justice, because our concept of justice, our idea of justice is free from any prejudice, any racism, any nationalism, any sorts of phobia. It's universal justice for all people. Justice, justice, justice. If Muslim world practiced justice in every Muslim country, Muslim world will be different today. Actually, you will not be in this country. You'll be back in Pakistan, or Bangladesh, or Somalia, or Sudan, wherever you come from. You'll be over there looking for justice. Because you have justice over there, you will not be here. But because there is justice here, you've come. You've come with a purpose. May Allah enable us to understand justice fully. May Allah forgive us for our shortcomings. And may Allah transform this ummah so that it can return to the command of Allah of justice and excellence and compassion. Wa akhir da'wana and alhamdulillah rabbil alamin. Alhamdulillah rabbil alamin. والعاقبة للمتقين والصلاة والسلام على محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. الله says in the Quran, يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون واعتصموا بحبل الله جميعا ولا تفرقوا واذكروا نعمة الله عليكم إن كنتم أعداء فألف بين قلوبكم فأصبحتم بنعمته إخوانا وكنتم على شفا حفرة من النار فأنقذكم منها كذلك يبين الله لكم آياته لعلكم تهتدون. إنما باس الله عز وجل says يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. Allah Azza wa Jalla also says يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته and don't ever die ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون except in complete submission to Allah Azza wa Jalla. We make dua, Allah takes our life when we are fully submissive. Say Ameen. We ask Allah to take our lives when we are completely submissive. Say Ameen. We ask Allah to give us and restore in our life justice. We ask Allah to free this ummah. We ask Allah to return this ummah to excellence. Ya Arhamur Rahimin, forgive us our sins, Ya Allah. Forgive us our sins, Ya Allah. Forgive us our sins, Ya Allah. Ya Arhamur Rahimin, Ya Akramul Akramin. Unite our hearts, Ya Allah. Unite our hearts, Ya Allah. Unite our hearts, Ya Allah. Protect our children, Ya Allah. Protect our children, Ya Allah. Protect our children, Ya Allah. Make them the ambassadors of your deen, Ya Allah. Make them the best of ambassadors of your deen, Ya Allah. Ya Arhamur Rahimin, Ya Akramul Akramin. Restore peace on this earth, Ya Allah. Restore peace on this earth, Ya Allah. Restore peace on this earth, Ya Allah. Allahumma anta as-salam wa minka as-salam. Tabarakta Rabbana wa ta'alayta ya dhal jalali wal ikram. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا يا مولانا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم. إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون. فاذكروني أذكركم واشكروا لي ولا تكفرون والله يعلم ما تصنعون. أقم الصلاة.